and the outfit doesn't work, getting mad or beating myself up because the outfit's too big, too small, or one leg is like this and one leg is like that, getting mad at myself isn't going to help. So I'm responsible to use the pattern, but getting mad at myself if I make a mistake doesn't serve me. So what would serve me then is to go back and say, what do I really want this to look like? How do I want to use this pattern to look like I want it to look? With that said, are you all following me so far? So with the pattern analogy, beating ourselves up does not help. So it's not like I'm going to blame myself because I messed up this pattern and made one leg too short, one leg too long. Or I'm going to blame myself and I'm going to get mad at myself because I made the skirt so short I can't sit down. Of course, that wouldn't be your pattern. I've done that before where I've made skirts and I'm like, oh, this isn't going to work. I can't sit in this skirt. So, blaming ourselves doesn't help. But going back to the beginning, saying, what did I envision for this pattern to begin with? What did I envision? What kind of outfit? What was this supposed to look like? And I can start over. Let me also say, because I think that your question has so many different levels. I'm very big on the fact that we are all truly learning every step of the way. We are all learning. So yes, I'm responsible for my life. I'm responsible for my actions. And I'm growing. So to be gentle with myself as I say, while I'm learning, that's one piece of it. Another piece of it, none of us live on this planet alone. We do not live here alone. We teach this thing called cause and effect. As I think, you transformed by the renewing of your mind. As I think, my life comes back to me. That's one of our main teachings. So sometimes people go, oh, well that happened. Did I cause that to happen? I got this illness. Did I make myself sick? That's too simplistic of an answer. Because we do not live here just by ourselves. We do not live in our own consciousness completely. We are influenced and surrounded by the whole entire consciousness. So, yes, we're responsible for it, but give yourself a break because we're learning. I don't mean just you, Ross, but any of us. We're all learning every step of the way. And the best thing that I know how to do is if I've said, wow, I've got this not so wonderful experience happen in my life, to sit around and say, did I create this? Why did I create this? Why did this happen? Doesn't help me one little bit. What I want to do about it now. It's here. How do I want to flow with it? How do I want to pray to have this dissolve away? What's my choice now? What am I going to do now? Is the better question, rather than blaming myself or judging myself on how I got here. The one time that the how I got here can be very helpful is if you find that it's stuck. Because there may be a pattern. There may be a pattern inside there that's replaying and replaying and replaying, and everybody, I think, can go, the hot buttons that you always find triggered. The things that again and again and again, you go, darn, here I am again. Here I am again. Those buttons are your patterns. So to go back and say, how did this get installed and how can I get uninstalled is a good question to ask. Am I sort of answering your questions? I'm trying to hit it from different angles. For me, the biggest thing is get off our own back and just go again. I don't even like the word try. Just go again. All right? Well, that didn't work out the way I thought. Let me go again. Let me go again. What do I really want to create here? What's the vision I'm aiming for? And just go again. Self-judgment doesn't get us anywhere. So yes, you're responsible for your life, but not so much so that you need to start flogging yourself when it doesn't go right. All right. That was probably a very long answer.
Good morning. I want to know what is the simplest form to explain to somebody about what a practitioner is. Because usually my family say, go pray to the priest. And I'm like, we have practitioners and we have a reverend. So I don't know how to explain.
What a practitioner is?
Yes, exactly.
Or
an easy way to explain it to them where they don't have to keep asking me questions.
Okay, so the simplest two words are spiritual guide. What they do is pray for you. That is the number one job of a practitioner, is to pray for you. They can teach classes and do all this other stuff, but they are your spiritual guide, those are two words, And their first and foremost job is to pray for people. Pray for people. So you don't go pray to them, they pray for you, right? Spiritual guide whose job is to pray for you. Or I shouldn't say job, it's their love. Okay, and after Faye, we'll go over here to David.
Is there something in the philosophy that helps people to learn to gracefully accept gifts from others and be okay with it? I don't know if that's the reason.
To help you receive from others.
Receive.
Well, our practice of abundance, or our practice of what we call the law of circulation, that's the tip. Most people say, I'm really good at giving but not at receiving. If you start to check that out, if you're not good at receiving, you're probably not very good at giving either. It's probably false. Did she just say that? Here's what I know about myself. In my own journey, I was always a giver, or so I thought. When I really started to check it out, when I wasn't able to receive, I found out that my giving was half-assed. So, a lot of times we give because it's a societal mandate to do so. When I got really comfortable with that whole giving and receiving, on both sides of it, it all fell into place. So, learning to be a better giver, an authentic giver, which means you have to know when to say no to giving. Then you are now open to receiving. That's one. You know, I can go on for hours about this one. The thing when I say about giving is maybe a false giving, and I said, did she really say that? I really invite you to check that out. If we're giving out of obligation, if we're giving out of societal mandate, that's not authentic giving. When authentic giving is when we can also say, check it out. Check it out for your own life. When I go to give to somebody, I have to have the freedom to say no to the giving. When I get clear with that, I am much clearer to receive. That's one. Another one is knowing exactly who you are. You are a child of God. Why wouldn't you want to receive every single good thing that God has to give you through other people? Let me give you a personal example to make it really easy to understand. When I first became the senior minister here, if somebody gave me a compliment about something I said, I couldn't receive it. No, because I was in the whole world, the whole dance world was never good enough. Never good enough. Your kick has to be higher, your leap has to be more extended, your splits have to be so you're falling to the floor. You have 3 pirouettes, forget it. You need to be able to do 4, and it was never, ever good enough. So that was my world, never good enough. And so in my mind, I should have said this, I shouldn't have said this, and I could have said that different. So for the first few years of being senior minister, people said, I loved it when you said, I go, I couldn't receive it. Until all of these pieces fell together. I became a better giver, so I became a better receiver. And I remember, who am I? I am a child of God. Why wouldn't I want to receive the compliment from another child of God? So we are not separate from God, remember? So it's God working through the person, giving you the compliment or giving you the gift. That right there will help shift things. Remember who you are. I'm a child of God. I want to receive all the good that there is from all the other children of God. I use the word children loosely. We don't believe God is a father, but those are 2 tips that I would give. But I would love to talk more about it. Maybe that'll be my next talk. It's a good one. Giving and receiving are 2 sides of the same coin. Thank you. Okay, let's come over here to David.
Okay.
I'll even move.
All right. A quick preface. The philosophy teaches us that there is one source, one mind, the indwelling God. And as a result of that, there's an energy out there that we all can use to manifest our lives, and whether we know it or not, we're doing that all of the time. I hope this doesn't sound too weird. Right now, Star Wars, the latest Star Wars is out there, and they talk about may the Force be with you. It's a power that you can use. Is that the same thing? I mean, is there a parallel there? Do we